Listen to how crazy these Serum 2 effects chains are. One of the things that holds producers back the most when it comes to sound design is all the walls you hit once you start trying to cook up a sound. You might have an idea of something you're going for, you figured out the oscillator, you figured out the filter, but once you get to the effects page, you find yourself going into the same habits you normally go to. You put an OTT, you put a saturator, maybe do a little EQing, and you start to lose the idea that you originally started with, and you start hitting walls because you don't know what the next step is to take the sound to the next level, and you just end up getting stuck with kind of a dull, boring foundational sound. Having a slow workflow like that where you keep hitting those walls is what makes sound design not very fun after a while, and you can't get those ideas out of your head. Luckily, I have something that can hugely improve your workflow, speed it up, and make sound design a lot more fun. And that's instant access to professional effects chains. This is what 99% of producers really struggle with, staring at a blank synth, not knowing how to build a professional sound from scratch. Luckily, we just spent the last 8 months building hundreds of Serum 2 presets from scratch, and they are the highest quality, most polished, full sounding presets on the market. I guarantee, just check out our testimonials from some of your favorite artists, some of the biggest artists in the game right now, and they'll all tell you the same thing. They've never seen a pack that's so high quality and easy to use right out of the box. And the key to all of those presets and how effective they are is really complex, really in-depth effects chains. And luckily, we have extracted all of those effects chains and put them in the Serum 2 effects arsenal. Since we've done this, it allows you to experiment with all sorts of new Serum 2 workflows. I'm going to demonstrate all of this in a second, but you can take a preset that you already have, switch out the effects chain it already has, and throw on a new effects chain, and you'll get a completely new sound. You can also take our effects chains that we have included in here and apply them to other synths. So maybe for some reason you're still messing around with Silent, an old synth, but you want it to sound more modern. Maybe you have a really cool saw wave thing going on in Silent, or maybe something more like Harmor or Citrus if you're in FL Studio. You can drag on our effects chains and completely change those sounds and give them the same sorts of polish and effects that you get out of Serum 2. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Also, not only does this pack provide over 120 effects chains, all organized for their specific utility they were intended for. Obviously, you can experiment, but we also include 530 different presets for all the effects modules in Serum 2 that are named for exactly what they're meant for, because Serum 2 didn't really come with many stock presets for all their modules. So let me go ahead and open up Serum 2 here. Let's go ahead and pull in all of the effects modules, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So first off, crazy amount of effects in Serum 2, and we even have presets for the freaking utility. So once you've installed the Serum 2 effects arsenal, which is also available in the full Serum 2 supply drop bundle, if that's something you've been considering, if you've seen our other videos about the various packs, if you go in here, there's now a sonic weaponry folder. And so to start off, we have, I guess we just have like a standard saw wave in here. Let's turn off all the other effects for the time being, because I just want to show you a couple examples. So we got a bode. So here, metallic blur. Let's try that out. That's already a cool effect. Next, let's check out the chorus. Bass enhancer. A little more girth, a little more girth. Let's try something a little less subtle. Tonal chorus. Oh, that's some nice space. Now let's go into the compressor. We have a ton of compressor, both multi-band and single band compressors. One of my favorites is the Sonic OTT. The majority of the presets in all of our packs that we've made for Serum 2 so far use the Sonic OTT. It's so cracked. Much louder, much louder. Now let's mess with the convolve. Now this is one that I'm super excited about because convolve is one of the most powerful effects in Serum 2, in my opinion. And we have a lot of crazy stuff. I'll show you the lasers. The lasers are pretty cool. We also have a bunch of disperser type. So it just makes anything kind of wet and dispersory. Now, these effects are going a little crazy. This is not a professional effects chain. This is just me fucking around, so don't judge. But we got the delay. Let's find like a nice, oh, this says nice on basses. This is kind of a bass. It's already so wet though, that it's probably not gonna be very easy to hear. So let's go ahead and try like maybe a tonal delay. Oh, here we go, tonal delay. Damn, we already got like a sustain going. This is literally all just on an init patch. So it's already, you can see how much fun it is. Like you just go through these and you mess around. The distortion should probably be like higher up, maybe up here. So let's go into the distortion. We have a ton of distortions, so many distortions. Extra harmonics, let's see what that's like. And it literally does exactly what it says. It just adds some extra harmonics in the mids and the highs. I like that. It's subtle, but that's like really useful. And then here, let's pull in an EQ actually down here. So this is another one with our presets. The EQ becomes way more valuable and just super accessible because we have tons of EQs for everything you need. Mud cleaner, pre-distortion general cleanup, pre-distortion mud cleaner, pre-distortion resonance. Let's try that. Let's try pre-distortion resonance. I'll put it before the distortion. Let's see. Oh, it changes the tone of it. It makes it girthier. So some of this is subtle stuff, but this is like, not only is it helpful for you if you don't already know these techniques on your own, like putting resonance before the distortion, but it teaches you because you click the preset and then you can audibly just A/B it and see exactly what these presets are doing and how all of these different modules are interacting with each other. And over time, you'll start to learn these skills yourself, so you don't even have to rely on our presets. Although the presets make this whole process just so much faster. Another crazy one, the filters. Look how many filters we have. This is so many presets. Metallic OTT, let's see what that's like. That's fucking crazy. And some of these should come, oh, yep, already key tracked. So like this one, you don't even have to worry. Like in the preset, we've already made it so it's key tracking. So something that's more tonal like this reverb filter, ideally in certain scenarios, you would want it key tracked. So that's awesome. Then let's put on a flanger, evil warbling, fuck it. That's cool, but that effect is kind of getting drowned out because of how many effects we already have on it. So let's try something else. Tron, but it's the 80s. Okay. Now that's fucking wet. All right, let's try some hyper. Default width and space. Oh, that's actually a nice one because it's just like, it's like your typical, it's just a little bit, not causing phasing issues, just a little width and space. Now, granted, this doesn't need any more width and space. Honestly, I feel like this doesn't really, you get the point. There's a bunch of presets, but this is already such a wet sound. I don't think it needs more like width and space. All right, so let's check out the phasers. Let's see, intense. Let's try that. You know, it's just phasing might also be a little too much. I'm really stoked about the phaser vibrato. It adds vibrato, but using a phaser. But this sound's getting a little bit toasted, so like you're gonna have to just trust me. The presets are good. All right, reverb. This doesn't really need more reverb. We have a bunch of reverbs. We have reverbs that are specifically for certain genres, which is really helpful. Obviously, you're not limited to only using that. Verb for sustains. This is kind of a sustain. Ooh. Oh, that's subtle, but it helps it sit in the mix better. And then we even have presets for the utility. Now, obviously, there's not really much to do with the utility. We just have full mono, inverted but wide. We've inverted the phase, mono bass, and side fixer. Let's fix the sides here. Nice. It just makes it more mono compatible. I kind of like how wide it is, so we'll take that off. But look at how easy it was to turn of just a saw wave into something cool. And this is, again, just the tip of the iceberg. Stick with me. I'm gonna turn off the sub, and I'm gonna show you how cracked these effects chains are. So basically, we have them all organized into various categories. I'll show off a couple of these. It's just showing you different use cases, what these were meant for. Obviously, you can experiment however you would like. We got stuff for leads and plucks, layering and utility. So these are just like sends, so you could use them on like different buses. For instance, like we have some that are specifically to just send your sub to another bus, and then it's processing to make your sub nice and beefy. But we just got a saw wave here. It's kind of like having a sustain bass. So let's try out the sustain section. We'll just do the first one here. Turns a saw wave into a sustain, just like that. Here, let's try out some of the other sustains. Phasing Vocodex, put on a saw wave or square wave. Let's see. It's literally that easy, and that's just a saw wave. We haven't done anything yet. And obviously, these are just starting points. So it's like you can do whatever you want. Like one of my favorite things, I'll go ahead and just do it here real quick. One of my favorite ways to use the effects arsenal is to use it to work backwards. So instead of making a sound and then trying to figure out how to process it, the fun thing is you just throw one of our chains on and then you design the sound into the chain, and it gives you a lot better feedback and it makes it a lot more fun because you already have a cool processing chain doing crazy shit to the sound. So any tweaks you make, I mean, I'm going to just shut up and show you, but any tweaks you make, you can hear it instantly. So let's do something that could be kind of quick. Make wubs sound like aliens. Let's try that. Ooh, that's already a nice start, honestly. All right, so here, we're gonna do a wub. So let's maybe just do like 2 basic shapes. Sounds nice just leaving that one up, but we'll go into the Serum 2 LFO shapes pack, go to the oscillator level. Let's click through them a little bit. Okay, there we go. Maybe turn down the rate. It needs a sub. Bring the sub up a little louder. Well, that's already like, we're already halfway there, but we need some filtering for sure. Here, let's go ahead and use the Serum 2 LFO shapes again, go into the filter modulation section. Now, these LFO shapes are available separately or in the Serum 2 supply drop. Fire. Let's go ahead and go into the global tab, just fuck with the rate here. I still want like some extra pizzazz. We could mess with the sync maybe. Here, let's drag in some drop MIDI from the Wook bass MIDI section. just to like give us a good starting idea to mess with. That's not the vibe for this sound. That's also not the vibe for this sound. Yeah. All right, let's fuck with the rate. Maybe turn this down a little bit. Ooh, I just got an idea. So we're gonna try to make a sequence. But see, this is what I'm talking about. This is giving me so much inspiration. All right, so this is gonna be a sequence. That wasn't what I was initially going for. I think I need to make it 4 bars, but that's pretty gas. So that's just an example. And look, let's try something out. Just a little test. Let's fucking put in a new chain. Let's put a new chain on it. I mean, it's literally that easy. It's crazy. And this is like, I haven't gone into these chains and customized anything for the sound specifically. I'm just like trying to do it quickly on the spot. But I think that's pretty cool. I'm pretty stoked on that. I'll show you one last use case before we go. So a really fun way to use the effects arsenal is to find a preset that you already have, maybe from a pack that doesn't have as crazy effects going on. So for instance, no shade against Axel Boy. We're working with Axel Boy on a crazy pack. So that's why I'm going to use one of his presets. But his presets, a lot of these are from Serum 1, and Serum 1 had a lot of limitations and effects. So okay, so this is a Reese. This is actually perfect. So we'll go ahead, go into the effects chains, go to jump up, and there's one here called Crunchy Ass Reese. And it completely changes it. Let's try a different Reese preset. I think we have another one in here. Put on your Reese. Ooh, it adds like an atmosphere. I think we even have more. Honestly, let's do a different preset though. Okay, this is a good one. So let's try distortion in color, Eptic Crunch. That's fucking gas. Let's try another one here. OTT for Bro Step. This one's actually kind of similar to the original. It just gave it a little more like sizzle. I like that. Let's try Wook Bass Flow Zone. Enough said. Get the Serum 2 effects arsenal. It's literally cheat codes for sound design. You can upgrade and get the full Serum 2 supply drop bundle, which includes 4 preset packs covering 4 different genres of bass music on top of the Serum 2 effects arsenal. Serum 2 LFO shapes pack, which you saw a little bit in this video. You got a taste. And then it also comes with, I think, a total of 16 project files spanning all of the different genres. All the demo tracks for all these packs are basically accessible project files for Ableton and FL Studio. You also get generator racks, drop MIDI, 8 different production workshops from a bunch of goated producers like Madcore and Fracture and Cosmos and Agony. And I have a couple tutorials in there, my boy Kaiju, showing you all sorts of different things, whether it's writing tear out drops, writing rhythm drops, theory behind drop motifs, how to resample basses. We got all sorts of goodies and value in the Serum 2 supply drop. I highly recommend it, but if anything, you gotta get the Serum 2 effects arsenal. It's so cracked. It's crazy that there's no products like this that exist. We wanted to make something really useful and really helpful to aid you in your sound design journey. My name's Cubic with Sonic Weaponry, and I'll see you again soon. Happy producing.